Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and in today's video we're going to be checking out the new free-to-play Gotenks. Now, more specifically, there is the fat Gotenks right here, and then we have the skinny one. I'm going to kind of center the video more around the fat Gotenks, because from just a brief glance, this guy does look a little bit better, but the showcase is still about the both of them. I just think this guy's probably going to be performing a little bit better, because in terms of their kits, they kind of gave this guy some things that just outright, I mean, from the looks of it, again, just make him look like he's going to be performing just a bit better. But anyway, before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. And I am feeling, you know, a little sick today, so if my voice is a little rough at some points, please forgive me for that. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So on this opening rotation right here, we do have him with another support Gotenks. So we're going to have 3 out of 7 links, and also we have some support from the Gotenks. And start of turn, we are at, okay, 108k defense. So this guy does have a lot of things going on for him. Most notably, he gets 30% defense on super attack effect. This guy also gets 30% attack and defense per key sphere obtained. But there's like a really weird thing with that, to where after every turn passes, the 30% goes down 1% in attack and defense. So for instance, on the next rotation, instead of getting 30% attack and defense per key sphere obtained, we're only going to get 29%. And then that's going to keep on going down every turn by 1% attack and defense until we get to 20% attack and defense per key sphere obtained. It's kind of complicated, but hopefully you got that. But anyway, we're going to be able to get 7 key spheres right here. So with the 7 key spheres, we jump up to a little over 200k. Okay, so that's not horrible. We do actually get an extra 50% defense when we get 1 key sphere as well. And then if we get 4 key spheres, we get an additional 70% attack and then a high chance to do a crit. So in terms of our damage right here, just keep in mind we've got a high chance to crit right here. And of course we have an extra 70% attack. And yeah, what attacks that are we looking at right here? 3 million. 3 million is really not that good, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, the 50% chance to crit, it makes that number a little more acceptable. But still, that's just really not that good, because defensively right there, we're not even at 300k. And this is pretty much the best situation for this guy, because right now we're getting the most amount of attack and defense on every key sphere we get. And we got 7 key spheres right there. It's not like we got unlucky. We got 7 of them. So that's actually kind of a good amount. It's more than you're going to normally get. But still, just not really the best performance right there. I don't know. I think both of these guys are just very weird. I guess maybe in like burst mode they can be kind of useful. The fat Gotenks, that has a high chance to stun. So if you want to take this guy in Super Battle Road, you could probably make it work. But other than that, I don't really know if this guy is going to be that good, or if both of them are going to be that good. Because, yeah, even this guy, they designed them very similarly. So as I said, the skinny Gotenks is a little bit worse though, because he gets attack and defense minus 2% with every turn passed. So of course that's going to affect him a little bit more. But this guy does have like the exact same thing. He gets 50% defense with, actually wait. So he gets 50% defense with 2 or more key spheres, and then he gets 50% attack and a medium chance to crit with 4 or more key spheres. Wait, so the fat Gotenks, yeah, he's just outright better. I don't know why they did that. That makes no sense. They should have made them like maybe both good in their own ways. For instance, maybe make the Gotenks, I don't know, better offensively, and then, or the Gotenks, they're both Gotenkses. Maybe make the skinny Gotenks better offensively and the fat Gotenks better defensively, but for some reason, the skinny Gotenks is just outright worse. But we did orb change a little, and we jump up to 321k defense. Alright, so that's a pretty solid number, because we do get 30% defense on super attack effect. So after that, yeah, we're going to be a little over 400k defense, which for a free-to-play EZA, that's not the worst, but I'm really not crazy about that, because even our attack stat right here, it's not really going to be all that crazy, because, I mean, we have a medium chance to crit, but what are we going to do, 3 million? No, it can't be over 3 million, right? Okay, 5.3, actually, you know what, that's not horrible. With the medium chance to crit, but keep in mind, we did have a lot of support right there, and we only had 3 out of 7 links, but both of the Gotenks, their links are very bad. I mean, a couple of them are alright. Like Fuse Fighter, Shattering the Limit, and Sand Lineage. Actually, those 3 are pretty solid. But then, like, Fusion Failure, Super Strike, Supreme Power, and Bombardment, you're not getting those links active. Those are, like, you're never going to get those active. I mean, Fusion Failure, let's look at this really quickly. I can't think of one unit that has this other than the free-to-play Veku. Yeah, that's literally the only other unit that you're going to get that link active with. So just links like that. At that point, like, why even give it to him? Or if they are going to give it to him, give it to some other units too. I mean, we don't really get many fusion failure cards per se. But still, that's just such a bad link. So anyway, on this rotation, we're going to be looking a little bit better. Well, kind of. We've got more support, but we did lose out an additional 1% attack and defense per key sphere obtained. So right here, we're only going to be getting 29% attack and defense per key sphere obtained. And we're going to have 3 out of 7 links. We're going to put him in slot 1. So we can go ahead and get the 8 key spheres right here. And then after these 8 key spheres, we jump up to 238k defense. Yeah, I'm just not crazy about that. Both of them just overall don't really look that good because, I mean, they don't really build. Well, no, they don't build up. In fact, they just get worse as the fight progresses. So if we're already seeing their best turns, not really that impressed. I will say this. You know, I'm saying that the fat Gotenks looks outright better, but so far the skinny Gotenks has performed much better, just because of his attack and defense stat at that first rotation right there. But keep in mind, the skinny Gotenks is going to drop off a lot quicker than the fat Gotenks because he does lose 2% attack and defense per key sphere obtained, and his crit chance is a lot lower, and he gets a lower attack buff as well. So okay, right here we are going to have 3 out of 7 links again. We're at 139k defense start of turn. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, pop this with him really quick. We're going to get some int key spheres, and then we'll change the int ones into tech. So we're gonna get a lot of key spheres with him. Yeah, we're gonna get 13. Okay. So with the skinny Gotenks, we've been getting crazy lucky with key spheres. Well, not crazy lucky. We've just been orb changing and getting lucky with that. So we're at 344k defense. Again, I guess that's all right because we get 30% on super attack, so we're gonna be at like 400k defense. But that's still not good. That's still dying range, right? But I guess you'd have to keep in mind we are only under a 180% leader skill because at the moment, I'm pretty sure they do not have a 200% lead. But of course, they're on a lot of like categories that will most likely get one. I mean, stuff like Majin Buu Saga, Hybrid Sands, Youth, or Warriors Raised on Earth, Fusion. I could see all those categories getting like a 200% across the board. So definitely, I mean, it's possible. But for now, I think their placement on teams and just their teams in and of themselves are a little on the weaker end because you're not running them on these teams. I mean, if you're running Majin Buu Saga, there's plenty of better physical options. You've got one of the 8th year anniversary LRs, who he's insane. You've got the EZA physical Vegito, who he gets memed around for not being great, but he's still very good. He's leagues better than this guy. And for the tech one, I mean, there's plenty better tech options for like Majin Buu Saga and like Hybrid Sands as well. I mean, you know, Tech Ultimate Gohan, for instance, he's however old at this point, and he still is way better than this guy. So just really weird options. I feel like for even free-to-play units, they're kind of unimpressive. But again, in the right scenarios, I guess maybe they can look kind of good. What we're going to do is, yeah, we'll put them in slot 2, and then we'll get all these physical key spheres, so we're going to get 9. So in terms of key spheres, we're looking really good. We jump up to 224k. Okay, interesting. So actually, you know what? The skinny Gotenks, I think, is going to be a little bit more impressive for the beginning of the fight. Let me just check his defensive stat really quick. Maybe that's why, like, defensively, he's just looking outright better, and offensively, because maybe his stats are better. I haven't looked at these before. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the skinny Gotenks, his defensive stat is, like, it's a couple thousand higher than the fat Gotenks. So, yeah, for the first couple rotations, the skinny Gotenks is going to look a lot better, but then once you start to lose out on the attack and defense, then I feel like the fat Gotenks is definitely he's going to start to look a little bit better. Sorry, 161k defense. We'll showcase this rotation right here, and then we'll go ahead and cut to a, well, actually, you know what? I mean, I said this was the fat Gotenks showcase primarily, but skinny Gotenks is looking better. So we might just go to Red Zone Broly to showcase the skinny Gotenks, and then go to Omega Shenron to showcase the fat Gotenks, just because I kind of want to showcase them both in their own fight that would make them look good, because, you know, of course, just very different units. But, all right, so 257k defense, yeah. Not really the craziest. We got all right luck with key spheres, and still, now we're starting to drop off, as you can see, because, you know, we're losing a lot of attack and defense. So, yeah, not really the craziest attacks that either. If you're not getting the crit off, you're really not going to be doing that much damage. So, yeah, well, with all that shown, Yeah, we can just go ahead and cut to the red zone test. Alright, so we're here fighting Omega Shenron, and after seeing this guy's performance just throughout this fight alone, I actually do think what I said was incorrect. I think the skinny Gotenks is probably going to be a little bit more impressive, because while definitely he's going to fall off and look a lot worse later into the fight, I do think the fat Gotenks, he's really not going to be that crazy even from turn 1. I mean, still, this Gotenks, well, still both of them are just very weird, but this Gotenks is probably going to be better in like longer fights, because then on turn, well, you'll see right here, turn 8, he's going to be looking a little bit more impressive than the skinny Gotenks, because again, the skinny Gotenks loses a lot more stats. But alright, yeah, anyway, right here, we're going to be able to get 7 Key Spheres. So after these 7 Key Spheres, we jump up to almost 200k defense. So still not really that great, but keep in mind we get 30% defense on Super. Now, we're going to get destroyed right here, but, you know, he's a free-to-play unit, and this is, you know, the red zone stage, one of the most difficult events of the game. So you can't really get that mad at him, but he does have type advantage, so I feel like it's pretty reasonable to expect him to take a little bit on the lower end in terms of damage, but as you saw right there, almost 100k per normal, so not really the best performance, but again, I just think these Gotenks are just a little unimpressive. So yeah, with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the Broly stage and check how the skinny Gotenks is performing. Alright, so we're here in the red zone Broly stage, and we've got a very good setup right here. We are going to have 3 out of 7 links. We got a lot of support from the Gotenks. And I'm pretty sure because the Gogeta Rainbow Orb changed, we got really lucky with Key Spheres as well. So we get 8 Key Spheres, and our defensive stat jumps up to 230k. So, yeah, just not really that good. I mean, like I was saying, this guy does obviously lose some stats as the fight goes on. So, you know, we're on turn 10, and we're just really not getting that big of a buff per Key Sphere obtained because, of course, it's like it went from 30% to 20%. And 20% is still very good on some units, but not a free-to-play unit like this who has very low stats to begin with. So, I mean, yeah, we're getting supered, as you can see. So I'm pretty sure this is, like, guaranteed death. But we do still take a couple normals. So I'd be curious to see how well we're tanking that. 68k. Alright, and then a 4 million attacks that. I guess we could crit, and if we do some solid damage. Yeah, well, we got the crit. And we did get the additional as well, okay. So we got a double defensive raise. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is this guy does also greatly lower attack. So in Super Battle Road, this guy's going to work a little bit better than the fat Gotenks, because this guy does still have the high chance to stun, and he greatly lowers attack. And if you're getting double supers like that, definitely the enemy isn't really going to be hitting that hard. Wow. We survived the super. That's, you know what? I gotta say, that's impressive. That is impressive. Now, to be fair to the fat Gotenks, I feel like this was a little bit of a better situation. But yeah, overall, it's looking like the skinny Gotenks is actually a little bit better. Which is surprising because on paper, the fat Gotenks looks a lot more impressive, as I was saying earlier in the video. Because, I mean, he just outright gets more attack buffs. He gets a higher crit chance. And his attack and defense per Key Sphere obtained, you know, because, of course, it goes down by every turn. It goes down only by 1% every turn for the fat Gotenks compared to the skinny Gotenks that's going down by 2%. So, on paper, you really would think the fat Gotenks is much better. But, really, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, from the looks of it, the skinny Gotenks is looking a lot more impressive, and we survived a super. So, all right, well, with all that shown, I guess let's go ahead and cut to the unit breakdown, because that was pretty impressive. All right, so here we have struggling with the heavy body Gotenks failure A, or fat Gotenks, and then we have relaxing on a tired body Gotenks failure B, or skinny Gotenks. So starting off with the fat Gotenks' leader skill, it is physical type, key +3, HP tag and defense plus 77%. Not really a great leader skill, but you're not really using this guy for that anyway. His super attack is that he raises defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage with a high chance to stun. So definitely, I mean, that's alright. A high chance to stun is somewhat useful, as I said. In places like Super Battle Road, you'll obviously be able to make a lot of use out of that. And it is a high chance to stun as well, so it's fairly reliable, especially if you build this guy full additionals, which I do suggest you build both of them for full additionals, because they do get that 30% defensive raise on super. Then, you know, you could obviously have the other shot at getting the additional super. But all right, moving on to his passive, he gets 100% attack and defense, and then he gets an additional attack and defense plus 30% per Key Sphere obtained. He gets attack and defense minus 1%, no more than 10%, with each turn passed. And then this guy gets an additional 50% defense if 1 or more key sphere is obtained. And then he gets an additional 70% attack and a high chance to perform a critical hit if 4 or more key spheres are obtained. And then he recovers HP with candy. So definitely the HP recovery here. It's not really that useful, but I guess it's still good that he has it. And yeah, that pretty much is it with this guy. So moving on to his links, he has the Sand Lineage, Fuse Fighter, Fusion Failure, Bombardment, Supreme Power, Super Strike, and Shattering the Limit. Already talked about this, not really an amazing link set. And then his categories are Fusion, Hybrid Sands, Majin Buu Saga, Youth, Special Pose, Heavenly Events, Time Limit, Fuse Fighters, and Warriors Raised on Earth. So alright, moving on to the Skinny Gotenks. His super attack effect is the exact same, except for this guy does greatly lower attack. And his passive is actually a little bit different, so let me go over this. He gets 100% attack and defense, and then he gets an additional attack and defense plus 30% per key sphere obtained, and then he gets attack and defense minus 2%, no more than 10%, with each turn passed. And then this guy gets an additional 50% defense if 2 or more key spheres are obtained, and then an additional 50% attack, and a medium chance to crit if 4 or more key spheres are obtained, and then he also recovers HP with candy. And then this guy's links and categories are the same as the Fat Gotenks, so I won't go over that. And then yeah, as you can see right here, the stats for the Skinny Gotenks are actually a little bit more impressive than the Fat Gotenks, so I think that's really why the Skinny one is looking a little bit better in terms of his attack stat and obviously his defensive stat. So alright, yeah, that has been the video. Let me know what you guys are thinking of these free-to-play EZAs. Let me know if you think I was too harsh on them or if you think I went too easy on them. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one.